Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is episode 2 of the pod. I'm so happy that you guys could be back again. We're excited to have this convo.
The pod is the new term.
Welcome back to Just Sayin.
Part 2.
I forgot the name for a sec.
Yes, you did. All right.
So basically, Penelope, did you have an eventful weekend?
I did. This weekend I went to Chicago because my brother, Lucas Neto, the owner of this podcast, or the original starter, is at Northwestern, which is on the outskirts of Chicago, and it was family weekend. So we took a trip down there. And let me tell you, Lucas has turned into the true frat man party planner. He got to the point where every single person we came up to was like, oh, this is my best buddy Lucas. He'd dab him up. He'd be like, this is the man. This is the party man. And my parents were very concerned.
Really happy that that's where their money's going to.
Yep, all that money. And Lucas is going to frat parties. He is the I want to say the treasurer. So that means he buys things.
So he's the treasurer and the party planner?
Yes.
And the DJ?
And the DJ. He also DJs. Multitasker. While he's also majoring in engineering at a national, very hard school.
This is my favorite. Chemical engineer by day, nightclub DJ by night.
Yep.
Recent grad of Kennebec High School.
Yes. He got to the point where he purchased lasers, like the lasers that you see at raves that flash up and down and do all these different colors for his very outdated frat house that we did take a tour of. It was 1,000,000 degrees because the radiator was broken, and
Wait, so the radiator being broken made it hotter?
I don't know what happened, but one of the radiators was broken, and then all of a sudden the whole entire room was, you would walk in there and it was 1,000,000 degrees.
Oh my god, during the party?
No. Parties were all outside.
Oh, okay. What's the template? Does it get really cold?
Freezing! The lake burns in, colder than it gets here.
Oh,
frigid.
Damn.
I brought skirts to wear. Did not wear those. I wore sweatpants all day. The whole entire time. It was freezing. But the frat house is very outdated. And then we went to a frat party, and that was a story in itself. So that brings us to our topic of the week.
Frats.
The life of college. And the issue of fraternities in Greek life.
So we've been hearing a lot about the UMaine frats and all of that Greek life, and basically it's all so screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's crazy that so many Kennebec High School kids go to UMaine.
So many people transfer there.
Yeah, and I get it because it's really cheap, and if you're a good student, you can get so much aid there, which makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, going from Kennebunkport to Orono.
I agree. Especially because, for me, college is such as much as I'll miss my friends, college is such it's a next chapter in my life. Mm-hmm. One thing I specifically don't want to happen is to be walking down, the street and see a kid from Kennebunk.
Yeah.
That would throw me off a little. If, they were, watched me go through my 6th grade phase. Mm-hmm. I feel like going to college is, you can create, a new identity for yourself.
Literally. You want to hear what I always wanted to do?
What?
I don't know if you've heard of this, but I always wanted to go into college British.
I wanted to go
no one would know.
I wanted to go into college and call myself, a completely different name. Because no one is going to know that, I go by Pippi.
No one's going to know.
So no one's going to call me that.
So you're going to be able to reinvent yourself as Penelope now?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've been slowly starting to call you Penelope more.
Well, I honestly have, I really don't care. Because most people, started calling me Penelope because, I think teachers call me Penelope. But then, I don't know, Pippi will always be a part of my identity. But I think it's weird that no one will know.
You can choose however you want to.
Yeah. Because, at Feds, the place I work, at Federal Jacks, I introduced myself as Penelope, and all those people didn't know I was Pippi. But then, the kids that were at, my school and stuff call me Pippi. And the next thing I know, every single person was calling me Pippi. So I was like, wow. So then when I get to college, that just won't happen.
No one will know.
I think that's weird.
Yeah. My big thing about college is I just wanted to put myself in a completely new environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to school in upstate New York. If I wasn't going in upstate New York, I was literally shipping myself off to the coast of California. Just because I wanted to put myself in such a different environment to just see how I'd cope. If I crashed and burned, I crashed and burned.
Yeah.
But I wanted to at least try it.
Yeah. I would totally do the same thing if I didn't have an intolerance to heat. I literally cannot deal with heat whatsoever.
No, I get that. And California's like falling into the ocean.
That's also true.
So visit it while you can.
Facts. Let's go back to our topic here. So, at UMaine, there's been a big issue about hazing in fraternities. It got to the point where I think people died.
Yeah.
Multiple people. Like, it wasn't just, like, one or two. It was, like, a couple.
Yeah. Well.
And they closed them down.
Yeah. Some of the seniors last year who were going to UMaine were talking about it. And they were doing things like driving kids out into the middle of the woods blindfolded and then just leaving them there. Making themselves find their way back to campus.
They're also, like, brutally intoxicated.
In rural Maine.
Yes.
And then they made them, like, drink fish and, like, horrendous things. Like, how did this culture start? Because it doesn't seem like it should be something that people allow.
I think it just, like, I don't know. I think just, like, hazing, because I know from what my brother told me when he was hazed into this thing, like, it was full, like, cloak and dagger. Like, they got taken down to the basement with cloaks on, candles were lit.
Jesus.
I don't know if any of you have seen that scene from Pitch Perfect where they all drink that bowl. Picture that. That's what it was. So, I think it just started there, and then slowly it became, like, more, like, introducing, like, drink as much as you can, like, or you'll be cool and you'll be entered in. And then it got to the point where it was, like, full-on dangerous. And now they've completely closed them down.
Mind you, Northwestern's frats were shut down, and Luke's this year is the first year that they're back.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they did that on their first year back in campus.
Yes, they were shut down.
Are they smart?
Well,
No.
I know. Really shows this.
Did they learn anything?
Don't think so.
No.
But, like,
yeah, frats back on campus, let's go!
Let's get kicked off again! But, well, that's another reason. Side note, my brother's fraternity is the only one that's not technically, like, owned by the school. So they don't have any of the rules where they can't, like, drink on the
Is this why Lucas chose that?
Honestly, probably.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be
probably.
surprised. He did put in, like, the pump to do a keg stand very easily. And we all made fun of him for it. My father's face was a tad worried.
There was a big issue with my brother's house last year because they thought that someone stole their keg. They had to.
What would we do?
They made like a detective board, like
I
with
would
the pins and the strings, and because they thought it was
They should have
someone.
put out, like, missing forms.
Yes, no, they did.
Oh.
So they lived in the house called Booty J.
Why not?
Because Bowdoin doesn't really have rats, so you gotta make do with what you have. And so they made like a detective board with a bunch of photos and string, literally because they thought someone in the house stole it.
Oh.
So him and his like task force basically went around trying to figure out who stole the keg.
That's amazing. Did Bowdoin have fraternities? Do you know?
I don't know if they ever did. So they have big social houses that's like all genders can live in it. And it's like upwards of like 30 people. So they're like big frats and sororities, but just I don't think they have the Greek terminology.
Gotcha. Because I know that, back to the hazing thingy. Well, actually, no. Other side, no. Sororities at Northwestern are, like, interior design by, like, a very famous person. I don't know who.
Did you get to go in one?
No, but I saw a video. My brother took a video on. I'll show it to you. It's crazy. Like, white houses, grand pianos, like a grand staircase. And then you go into my brother's frat house, and it looks like it's from, like, the 1970s. With, like, yellow wallpaper and dark wood everywhere.
The big question is, would you Bama Rush?
That's, like, the ultimate decision.
It is.
Because, like,
Would you go full Southern Belle?
I like how
and
you
Bama
went to the
Rush?
accent also.
I could go to college being Southern because I think I have this Southern accent on lockdown.
You could try.
It's the horse girl in me.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you watch those like Southern Belle like movies where they were like doing acrobats on horses and like they had to like it's like the last rodeo?
No. Yes. I've seen the videos of people doing like handstands on top of horses. How do people come up with those sports? We're getting sidetracked. Back to like hazing and everything. I know that the Northwestern, we're talking a lot about Northwestern here because this is like all I know about it. But the Northwestern, both the baseball coach and the football coach got fired this last year, or like going into this year, because they were allowing that hazing to happen.
That's so embarrassing for an adult. Being an adult, you get fired because you're letting kids haze each other. That's embarrassing.
It is. Because like they were in the knowledge of it, and that's what got them fired, that they didn't stop it or anything.
Yeah.
because of what these kids were going through. Like, they were getting, like, alcohol poisoning. Like, it was not good.
No.
Hazing's bad. That's why all the schools that you go to now, they're all like, we don't have Greek life. Like, that's not a thing.
And they prioritize, they're, like, that's what they, what's the word?
I don't know.
They, like, really tell you, like, no Greek life.
Make it known.
Yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's their selling point.
Uh-huh.
Like, we're all inclusive. They make it seem like Greek life is non-inclusive, which I think Greek life, like, it definitely has a purpose. And there could be really good instances of it, but it's just the hazing part of it makes it a really negative environment.
Well, I also feel like the issue with fraternities is that for not fraternities, just like the whole thing of Greek life, for girls, it's vastly different for guys.
Yes.
Girls, it's like a beauty contest, it's a popularity contest. If you get into this sorority, like, you have to be like that, the whole thing with Bama Rush, that's Alabama, I think, right?
Yeah.
It's University of Alabama?
Yeah.
Like, rushing, it's a beauty contest. Like, every single person that goes there is a blonde white girl. And no one else.
And that's what they preach.
Yeah.
Like, they try and keep that image.
So that's what sororities are, and there's a bunch of rules that go along with it. Like, you have to dress a certain way. Like, the housing, like I just said, they're like, it's like full, like, royalty that you have, like, to do. And with all these rules.
And when you get rejected, it's legit an attack on your personality.
It is.
It's because they don't like...
It's because they don't like you.
Yeah.
Because you literally have to have, like, interviews to get into this. So, ugh. But then, like, with fraternities and stuff, fraternities are used, like, people go into these fraternities for both, like, this is gonna sound bad, but for both, like, the brotherhood, quotation marks, but then also, like, to get into those, like, social events, you have to be a part of the fraternity, because other fraternities won't allow.
Because there's a ratio.
Yeah.
This is what, so, more about, just like stories from UMaine, they have a 5-to-1 ratio of girls to guys.
Do they actually?
Yeah. So, Oof. And if the ratio is off, they'll yell, "Ratio's off!" And they'll start kicking, like, guys out of the house. So I guess, like, if you want to get into these parties, like, as a guy, like, you want to be prioritized in the frat because it's so disgusting. They want more girls than guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly.
And so as a guy, you're fighting your way in, and if you're a girl, I guess you can just walk in.
Yeah, girl, honestly. One benefit of being a girl.
But it's disgusting. What, you going into these and you're like, oh my god, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl.
And then, like, the one guy.
And he's like, alright.
Yeah. He's a UMaine guy, so it's like a little, like, lumberjack kid. No offense to UMainers. Any other thoughts?
No, where I'm going to school, there are no frats or sororities.
See, like, my schools don't have it either. Sad.
Darn it.
I was honestly looking for it because I wanted to be in a sorority because I don't know. It just seems like, as much as, like, that sexist aspect to it is, there's always, like my brother will always be a part of that fraternity. Like, for the rest of his life, he'll always be I think it's, like, Kappa, Phi, Alpha, something like that. I'm not even kidding. Those names always kick me.
They're insane.
They're funny. But,
Kappa,
like,
Kappa, Gamma.
Yeah, he'll always be a part of that, like, brotherhood. I just thought that was cool.
It's a really good community coming in.
Exactly. It gives you... I was talking to one of the girls who were in the sorority, and she was like, it gives you a home base.
Yeah. Like,
you can have all your other friends, you could be on the sports teams and everything, but when, like, you're there, you're like, oh, that girl is in my sorority. Like, that's my quote-unquote sister.
I don't think, actually, athletes are really allowed to rush.
I don't think they are either.
No. So, my situation's a little different because I'm going in, and I've already talked to all the girls that I'm going into my team with. Mm-hmm. Which, it makes me feel really relieved already, but it's that sense of community. Like, that's why I wanted to play lacrosse in college, so that I had a group of people I could fall back on, people who, like, were disciplined and, like, pushed me to do better, like, physically and academically. And I think it's just the same thing with sorority, but it's just, you're in a different environment, whereas you're in the field or you're in a
That's why I wanted to join the
party.
Club team. Party. That's it. Any other thoughts here? I'm just gonna start talking about something random now. About my Chicago trip. I went into Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
That was amazing, let me tell you.
Amazing.
And the Gucci. Honestly, it made me view life so much more differently. Because, like, this is gonna sound so bad, but, so I'm looking at two schools right now. Providence College and Villanova University. And I was like, if I go to Villanova, I could get these Louis Vuittons a little bit easier than if I go to Providence.
How? You need the money.
I do need the money.
Just because you're in proximity to a Louis Vuitton does not mean you have a Louis Vuitton.
They're the coolest boots ever, and I need those boots. Like, imagine, because, like, we went to when we were at these, like, the parent frat party, the dirty, as you would so call it, these women were walking around, like, all of the, women, like, the moms had Louis Vuitton bags.
Yes, that's such a mom thing.
And they all had those shoes what are the really expensive shoes that everyone has?
Golden Goose?
Yes, they
Oh
all
my
had
God.
Golden Gooses.
Hate Golden Gooses. Why are you buying shoes that are pre-dirty? They're not even cute. You're like mixing gold sparkle with zebra print, with cow print, with rhinestones, with dirt.
I don't understand. Like, I feel like they'd be a little bit cooler if they didn't come pre-scuffed. Like,
Yeah.
are you trying to imitate poor?
How do they
How do you
scuff
do
it?
that?
Are they gonna make the whole shoe and then they're gonna
They probably rub it on their driveway.
They probably do. They have a machine that like distresses it.
I just think it's funny that they're trying to like imitate being like, my shoes are not worn. They're whatever. Okay. Well, good discussion there, Kira.
So we're at 16 minutes, and we don't really want to keep you because I don't think anyone drives to school for longer than 16 minutes.
Yes. All right. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Have a good week.
Like always, if you have any suggestions, hit up the herd. And we'll talk about whatever you want.
You can just DM the herd.
Or DM us.
Or DM us personally. Yes, that is also that. You should definitely do that.
My Instagram handle is KiraBatag_.
Oh, mine's Pinetto. No, it's not. Mine's Penel. I don't know what mine is. Just look up Penelope. No, come on. All right. Okay. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Love ya.